push and shove. Possession is the motivation that is hanging up the goddamn nation. Looks like they always end up in a rut. Everybody now trying to make it real compared to what? Come on, baby.
Hello everybody, this is Dan Pascucci and welcome to another exciting edition of Everything But the Kitchen Sink, your favorite show of all the shows here at Mansfield Cable Access. I could say that because I can. It's so good to be back here as usual. Usual opening stuff here is if you want to recommend a guest, if you'd like to be a guest, have a question for a guest, would like to be part of our studio audience, all of the above. You may get a hold of us. The best way for that is through our email account at mansfieldkitchensink@gmail.com. Right there in front of your screen as always. Kudos to our ace director, Jack O'Neill, who is dead on with that stuff. And he is he's down there pulling the buttons and everything and working the levers and making sure that I actually look good. So it's a hard job. Someone's got to do it. Again, this is no joke. We're back to the warm weather stuff. It was nice out today. This is not television trickery. This is real. It was a beautiful day today for a change, and we're looking forward to many, many more. Hopefully, again, we are broadcasting from the Mansfield Cable Access Studios, which is the place to be if you want to partake in any of the doings down here. This is a good place to do it, and you can get a hold of them through mansfieldcableaccess.org. Again, we get coming up on campaign season, so a note to all you people running for office, and the invitation is a standing open invitation. If you would like to, if you're a candidate, would like to come on the show and tell everybody why you are the person for the job. Again, Mansfield Kitchen Sink at gmail.com, and we'll be sure to we'll fit you all in. We did last year. We got everybody in that wanted to go, and we will fit you in. We will give you plenty of airtime, and we don't do political debates, so it's you and me, and you make your case to the citizens of Mansfield as to why you are the best person for whatever it is you are running for. You can also learn about us on talkmansfield.org. So we got that. And of course, it wouldn't be Everything But the Kitchen Sink if I didn't ask you again. Make sure we don't forget our furry little friends down at the Mansfield Animal Shelter. The ones that they can't speak for themselves, so they need me to do it amongst other people. And again, the shelter is beautiful. If you haven't seen it, it's they've had their grand opening, and again, it was built 100% on donations, and no town money was used, and it is absolutely fantastic. So if you want to look at that, you can go down to mansfieldshelter.org, and actually, I think it's mansfieldshelter.com. But anyways, and you go down there and see our furry little friends, and there's a little bucket at the front door, and you can put something in there, so that would be nice. So moving right along, I think we about covered all the announcements. Now it's time for the fun stuff. And actually, my guest tonight, we're playing a little tag here. You know, busy guy. You know these Hollywood types. But I actually, when Steve Howard was here, he was running for state rep, and he actually won. And he did say it was because of his appearance on this show. I'm just saying that. But anyways, Steve, as we all know, has done some movie work, and he introduced me to a fellow that's very involved in the film industry in Massachusetts. So he had nothing else to do, so he figured he'd come over here tonight. And I'd like to introduce my guest for the night, Mr. Chuck Slavin. Welcome to the kitchen.
Thank you so much, Dan. Thank you for having me on. Thank you.
Oh, no problem. You're a busy guy, huh?
Yeah, and I apologize. I was trying to get on as soon as I could, so I just want to let you know that I do apologize for.
Oh, not a problem. Now you have. You're a busy guy. You got a lot going on. You're busy slate with the motion picture industry of Massachusetts, right?
Yeah, I try to stay very active. I don't consider myself just an actor. I consider myself an active actor. So
he's not just an actor. He plays one on TV. Actually, you've been in a couple of movies, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been very fortunate. I kind of consider myself a child of the tax credit. So I've been very fortunate that when I went to LA and I came home, that the legislature had passed the tax credit. So I was able to work on films not not only coming from Hollywood, but getting back here. So.
Yeah, on your website, you have a picture of yourself with Governor Patrick, and that
Yeah.
was the film rebate. Now, Now we talked about that with Representative Howard, because it was something that he was very, fond of too. And now we seem to be filming a lot of movies in Massachusetts.
Yeah, we
Seems to be a lot going on. There's always, last week I watched through one of the services. I watched Grown Ups, an Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah.
And that was filmed in Essex.
Yes.
Okay, and that was all local stuff, and that was just the newest one. I know, like Kevin James was in that, and he did Paul Blart. That was actually filmed at the Burlington Mall, even though everywhere they said it was New Jersey.
Yeah, and they did a little at the Social Plaza too. So.
All right. So what? Yeah. So what's going on now? Why is everybody coming here? Ben Affleck likes it here because he's from here, but.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things. I personally look at it as a rebate, and Massachusetts offers a tax credit to film production companies that come to Massachusetts to film. So basically, if someone comes in and they spends, $100 million on a movie, they give them a credit as to the cost of that production. So it's money gained, and I look at it like they have to spend money to make money. So it's been very instrumental in bringing productions to Massachusetts. Okay. And as we can see, 2009. And 2008, we were very, very busy, and those films are coming out now. And Oscar season, we saw what happened there. There were so many movies that were nominated and got the nod that came from Massachusetts, which justified the fact that we are becoming a strong third market in the film industry. Yeah. So, and Movie Maker magazine named us one of the top 10 places to film. So wow. It's questionable whether it's #1, but. I believe they put us first on the list, so that makes us #1.
Okay, now what do you say to people who think it's wrong to give these multi-million-dollar movie companies the tax break? I mean, what?
Like I said, and I have said, and I've said before, that I believe that #1, those productions would never come to Massachusetts if it wasn't for that tax credit. So that is money that is being generated that would never touch the economy of Massachusetts. So there are reports out there. There's a UMass study that basically justifies that we're making, I believe they put it somewhere at $8 for every dollar. And then, of course, the DOR put out a report that kind of was negative on the credit. But basically, I see people working when I see the film production companies here. I see Massachusetts residents working. And there are some arguments against some of the ways that the credit works, but for me, I've been very lucky to work, and I know a lot of people who've worked, and I think it's a good deal for us. I think it's a very good deal to bring in those productions.
Now, to people that do complain about it, I say, tell that to a local caterer and flower shops and all the things that they use that they don't bring with them. Everybody thinks they put it all in a big truck and bring it here, and it doesn't work that way.
Well, a case in point, Essex, or a movie that's going to come out very soon, which would be Zookeeper, where they gave the Franklin Park Zoo, I believe it was like $100,000 or something to film there. And just now, here comes the boom with Kevin James. They've given an endowment to the Quincy High School to keep it open so that they can film there for the summer. So there's money there that would never come to Massachusetts unless there was a credit, and there are big name stars who travel to Massachusetts and love it here, and that effect on travel and tourism is immeasurable.
Name names. We know Kevin James seems to like it here. Adam Sandler's from New Hampshire.
Yes, and speculation that he may be here again, but we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
He's done a few movies here.
Yeah,
and then. We have, Leonardo DiCaprio's here, and that's the whole thing with Martin Scorsese. He seems to like the area.
They both do, yeah. The director of The Company Men, Wells, he loved it here, and he loved the community, and he thought that we had some really great talent and crew. So, everybody who comes here loves Massachusetts, and that's the key, is to get people here so that they can see that this is a great place to film, and hopefully sooner rather than later we'll have some studios here, some major motion picture studios that can really back up the industry.
We've got the buildings for it.
Yeah, certainly.
As a matter of fact, a little known fact, a lot of you people don't realize, but the movie with Sean Penn, Mystic River, was filmed almost entirely in a warehouse in Canton.
Yep.
And it was just an empty warehouse that they took over, and even though it looked like it was all outside, it wasn't.
Yeah.
And that's the magic of Hollywood. If you want to see some more of the magic of Hollywood, go down to Borderland State Park and look at the house that was in Leonardo DiCaprio's movie, the one by the lake, and it's the same house, but it doesn't quite look the same.
Proposal, the movie The Proposal with Ryan Reynolds and Sandra Bullock. They literally, I went to a thing with, I believe it was, and I don't, I'm not sure if I'm getting this 100% right, but it was Brick House had done some of the special effects for them, and they're a Massachusetts company, and they made Massachusetts become Alaska. And
right, it was Rockport.
Yeah, they put the mountains right in the back of the scene.
It's amazing how they do that, but a lot of that was filmed right in Rockport. We go, my wife and I go up there, quite a bit, and you could see exactly where everything was.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing the stuff that they can do. I worked on Pink Panther 2. I stood in for Andy Garcia, and it was like 3 months of work, and the whole time they're filming like it's in a different country. Yeah. It was awesome just to see the way that worked.
All right. While I'm at it, what movies have you been in?
There's a movie right now that's on demand that you can definitely see me in. It's called The Lonely Maiden. That's with Christopher Walken, William H. Macy, and Morgan Freeman. So I have a great featured part in that. There's a show that's coming out next week, Body of Proof. So I'm featured very well in that. I did a commercial for Pt.1. I don't know if you saw that. They hung me upside down and shook all the change out of my pockets.
Yes, we saw that one.
Yeah. So I've been very fortunate. I do a lot of independent stuff. I do a lot of web stuff, new media. I do whatever I can, and hopefully sooner rather than later, I get my big Hollywood break. So
all right, yeah. Well, I know we have a photo on you on our Facebook group page, which, by the way, Facebook in a group, everything but the kitchen sink, and a picture of you with someone resembling Steven Tyler.
Oh yeah,
he looked like he's had better days.
Yeah,
he was out of makeup, and it was probably bumped. Where was that taken?
That was in Pembroke.
It was in Pembroke,
my hometown. Yeah. Yeah, that was a little bit before his rebound. I mean, he's doing very, very well, and I applaud him for all the changes he's made in his life. And I think he's doing a great job. And being on American Idol doesn't hurt. No. Now you've done 6 Feet Under. Yes, 6 Feet Under was actually one of the first things I did when I moved out to Hollywood. That was pretty funny. I had been on set, and the director had called some people over to line people up for a small scene, and the director picked me, and he put me in the scene, and I hung out with one of the main stars, and I'm eating the ice cream up there. I thought it was awesome, I'm like, wow, I think I made it. So I call home, I tell everyone, and then when you watch it, it's literally like just a second of me walking down the hall. Yeah. Now, what's Deadly Strike? Deadly Strike was a video that a friend of mine did, Richard Chandler, and it's basically it's about a killer who's like a baseball guy, and it's kind of like it's spring season on killing or something. It was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. So now moving along. So what kind of a guy was Christopher Walken? Oh, he's wild. I had heard something about him last week, and I'll ask you in a minute. But what was it like being on the set with him? Oh, he is a funny guy. He is a very funny guy. We did something over on Beacon Hill. We were there. It was cold. It was very freezing, and he did his scene, and he did a few takes, and then he was so cold. So he kept going into this office because he was just so cold. And so the director was like, "All right, Christopher, now we're going to move in for your close-up." And he's, "My close-up? If you do my close-up, we're going to need like 7 heaters." It was so funny. Just to see the way that man works is amazing. Now, I had heard last week or the week before they were filming on location somewhere. It was just in a neighborhood. I don't even know where it was. And, they clear out an area, and then the people watched it. The people who actually lived there watched. And I guess he walked up to some lady that just lived in a neighborhood and said, "Excuse me, will you make me a tuna fish sandwich?" I would not put that past him. I would not be surprised. He is a very funny guy. Very funny guy. Oh, so who are some of the? What are some of the weirder things that some of the stars in these movies have done that? Well, I don't really want to say the weird stuff that they've done, but I can tell you some funny stuff. Yeah.